If you have been using sunscreen every single day, and I mean actually every single day, but your melasma still comes back, this video is for you. Because honestly, this is what I see in my clinic every single day. Women who've done everything right. They use sunscreen, they avoid the sun, but their melasma still gets darker. So today I'm going to be showing you 5 reasons why your melasma comes back. And spoiler alert, sunscreen alone isn't enough. Hi, good day ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Ingky and I'm on a mission to help 1 million women worldwide get rid of their melasma. Now, understand this. Melasma is a chronic skin condition. And I need to say this clearly because most people think that it's like a tan, it's something, melasma comes and melasma goes away. But melasma actually isn't like that. Melasma is your skin's response to a trigger. And once you've had it, your skin actually remembers it for a long time. And even if you're fading it up to 90%, the DNA of those melanocytes that triggers your melasma is still reactive. So this is why I see patients who've used lasers, they've used hydroquinone creams, they use every active ingredients in the market, but still their melasma comes back. End of the day, melasma is a chronic inflammatory hyperpigmentation disorder, and the triggers are sun exposure, heat, humidity, hormones, friction, and irritation. Now, sunscreen helps with only one trigger, which is UV radiation. But in a humid tropical climate or in an environment whereby you're exposed to a lot of heat and humidity, you've got multiple triggers working against your skin at the same time. So if you're only using sunscreen, you're only blocking 20% of what's actually triggering your skin. So the first reason why melasma comes back is visible light exposure. And this actually surprises many people, even dermatologists. They think, hey, I'm using an SPF 50, that's enough. But SPF 50 only measures protection against UVA and UVB radiation. It doesn't protect against visible light. But here's the thing, visible light, especially the blue and the red wavelengths, can trigger melanin production in people with darker, deeper skin tones and melasma. So the American Academy of Dermatology actually recommends iron oxide in sunscreen, specifically for melasma patients, because iron oxide reflects visible light. So if you're using a clear sunscreen, even the strong one, you're actually leaving yourself exposed to visible light. Your skin darkens a little bit over time. That small irritation triggers inflammation, and boom, melasma creeps back. So here's the fix. Use a tinted sunscreen with iron oxide, not a clear gel, not a spray, a physical tinted product with visible light blockers. And trust me, it feels different. It also looks different on your skin, but it also works differently. Reason number 2, heat and humidity. So when it's hot and humid, which for many of you is basically all year round, your skin barrier becomes more permeable. Your pores open up. Your skin is essentially more receptive to triggers. And the more receptive means the more inflammation. More inflammation means more melanin activation. And I see this constantly in my clinic. Patients who are stable during the cooler months, but when the heat and humidity spikes, melasma darkens. Now, it's not because they stopped using sunscreen, it's because their entire environment changed. The humid heat also triggers another problem. You tend to sweat more. Now, sweat creates friction on your skin, and friction creates microinflammation, which would then stimulate melanin production. And here's a quick fix. Acknowledge that seasonal melasma is real. Your routine in summer has to be different than your routine in winter or the cooler months. So you need more barrier support during summer, more anti-inflammatory actives, and honestly, less is more. Fewer steps, fewer actives, more hydration and protection. Reason number 3, you're using too many pigmentation actives at the same time, and they're essentially irritating your skin. So this is the irony that I see all the time. Someone has melasma and they start using hydroquinone. Then they start adding a retinoid on top of it because they heard it helps. Then they add on a vitamin C, and then an azelaic acid, and then niacinamide, and then they're using 7 different actives all at the same time. But the melasma still got darker. Now why? It's because each of those actives is technically good for hyperpigmentation, but using it all at the same time, it creates inflammation, and inflammation makes melasma worse. Retinoids are irritating if you're using it too much too fast. Vitamin C oxidizes if it isn't formulated well. Hydroquinone can cause skin irritation if you don't use it correctly. And azelaic acid irritates sensitive skin. And when your skin is irritated even slightly, it releases inflammatory signals, which will then trigger your melanocytes to make more pigmentation. End of the day, your melasma gets darker. So here's a quick fix. Instead, pick 2 actives maximum. For example, if you're using a retinol at night and a sunscreen in the morning, that's it. Use that for 12 weeks and then reassess. Don't stack everything up hoping for quicker results. Faster usually means more irritation, means melasma getting darker. Now the fourth reason, you're not reapplying your sunscreen correctly. Typically, that's what I usually hear. I apply my sunscreen in the morning, but then I'm done for the day. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not how sunscreen actually works. Sunscreen is measured under laboratory conditions using 2 milligrams of sunscreen per square centimeter. Now in real life, most people apply way less than that, 0.5 to 1 milligram. And that already cuts your protection in half. And then you sweat, and then you touch your face, and then you wipe your forehead, and then you lean against something. The sunscreen then degrades and rubs off. So by lunchtime, you are basically unprotected. So the clinical recommendation is this: reapply every 2 hours if you're outdoors, every 4 hours if you're indoors and not sweating heavily. But the issue is, I rarely see patients actually doing this. So instead, this is what happens. Morning application at 7 AM and no more reapplication. So by 3 PM, your skin is totally exposed. Your skin gets a small UV hit, and that UV triggers melanin and your melasma creeps darker. So the quick fix is this: reapply sunscreen after lunch. Powder sunscreen if you have makeup on, a fresh layer of tinted sunscreen if you are barefaced. It's just a 2-second effort, but it has a massive difference over time. And reason number 5, hormonal shifts reactivate dormant melanocytes. Now, melasma is classically triggered by estrogen and progesterone, and that's why it's so common in women on oral contraceptives or HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. Now that's why it typically appears during pregnancy and doesn't fade after delivery. And even if you have controlled your UV exposure, controlled your inflammation, controlled your routine perfectly, a hormonal shift can reactivate your melasma out of nowhere. Now you might be doing everything perfectly right in July, and when August comes, your period is late, your hormones start to shift, and suddenly the melasma gets darker. And you're not to blame, you didn't do anything wrong. Your body did something that triggered it. So here's a quick fix. You need to know your hormonal calendar. So if you notice melasma darkens sometime around ovulation or around your period time or around your birth control refill, now that's hormonal. So talk to your doctor. Whether hormonal management, which is changing your birth control or adjusting your HRT timing, or even hormonal skin support, is worth considering. So here's the pattern. Sunscreen is definitely necessary, but not sufficient. Sunscreen only blocks one trigger, which is UV rays. It doesn't block heat, doesn't block humidity, doesn't block skin irritation, and definitely doesn't block hormones. So if you're only focusing on sunscreen, you're only solving 20% of the problem. You need to also use tinted sunscreen with visible light blockers, adjust your routine seasonally for heat and humidity, simplify your skincare actives to reduce irritation, reapply sunscreen consistently throughout the entire day. And last of all is to monitor the hormonal patterns and talk to your doctor if they are the trigger. Now, when you combine all of these, melasma doesn't just stop coming back, it actually fades and stays faded. And now there's one more angle I want to mention, and this is where my own personal journey comes into play. Now, roughly about 2 years ago, I was seeing melasma patients who were doing everything right, and all the things I just outlined. Tinted sunscreen, a simplified routine, seasonal adjustments, they reapply the sunscreen, and we actually managed to control their hormones. But they were still frustrated because the fading of the melasma was really slow. And then I started asking myself, is there an internal component that we are actually missing in melasma control? And I knew from clinical studies and literature that certain compounds like tranexamic acid, glutathione, and even pine bark extract all has a little bit of research around skin brightening and melasma control when taken orally. But most products on the market are either weak formulations or made claims that aren't actually backed by science. So I personally partnered with a research formulation team, and we spent more than a year developing Light Up, which is a drinkable skincare designed specifically for melasma and hyperpigmentation. So it combines pine bark extract, fern extract, L-cysteine, and 10 more antioxidants. And the idea isn't that Light Up replaces your sunscreen or skincare. It doesn't. But it works alongside your external application routine to address inflammation and melanin production from the inside out. So we have tested this with patients for more than 8 months, and the honest feedback is this: when you combine an external routine that I just outlined plus Light Up, melasma fades faster and stays faded for longer periods of time. So because of that, I built Ventamine, the company, because I realized dermatology was only solving part of the problem from the outside, but the best results actually comes from both directions, inside and outside. And that's the honest answer why I actually built Ventamine. So if your melasma keeps coming back, even though you're using sunscreen, check the other 4 reasons that I actually mentioned today. And if you want to explore more about the internal angle with something like Light Up, you can find more information in the description below. But more importantly, understand that melasma is chronic. Now, you're not failing, you're just working with a more complex problem than just, hey, just use a sunscreen and then move on. So if this resonated with you, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.